All right, now let's talk about some secondary questions now that you are learning to master the beginning questions, which are the obvious questions where you're not finding out anything new. In these secondary questions, we're actually going to find some new information, but it's still information that is safe to muscle test. That's not going to put you in a hard place if the answer's wrong, but it gives you a chance to muscle test outside of the questions that you already know are factual. Questions like this, I would recommend use related to self-care or taking care of yourself. So, for example, we might ask the question, would my body appreciate drinking more water today? And if you get a yes answer, then great. There you got an answer that your body appreciates drinking more water today. If you get a no and you feel like the answer is probably a yes, still drink water, right? But it gives you the chance of muscle testing outside of that and listening, right? Okay, another thing that could go either way would be, would it be beneficial for me to take a walk around the block today? And if you get a yes, then great, go take a walk around the block. Now, it's important that if your body says yes to something, that you actually listen because your subconscious, you're building this trust with your subconscious. And maybe the trust with your subconscious has been broken for a long time because since you were a child, you were told that you weren't smart enough, that you didn't know what was best for you. And so you shut your subconscious down. Children are often pretty good at listening to their subconscious if they are given a place to thrive and really experiment with their subconscious. But in a space where it's dangerous to listen to our subconscious or all those things that we think when we're a kid, then we learn to shut that off because we think it's not safe, right? But it is safe to listen to our subconscious when we have that trust with our subconscious. And when we understand the answers and we're getting clear answers. So let's do another one. Let's say, is it in my highest good and best interest to connect with God and have a conversation with him today? All right, if you get a yes, definitely do it because you're building that trust. In these secondary questions, we're building trust with the subconscious, and that's the goal here. We're building that trust. So with the water question, if you're still wondering about that and you're like, well, we got to know for the water, and then you said drink it anyway. Well, obviously, you don't want to go thirst to death, right? If it's the middle of the day and you have not, you haven't drank enough water, then yeah, it's common sense, right? Like don't do anything that's against common sense, especially when you're in this stage of muscle testing, okay? We're starting at the very basics. If you like dehydrate yourself, you're not going to get clear answers, okay? But let's say maybe you've drunk a whole gallon of water during the day and it's bedtime and your subconscious says no. Well, then that's probably fine, right? Just use common sense, right? Like apply your left brain, your common sense with your right brain, which is where your muscle testing information is coming from. So here we go. Another question would be, would it be beneficial for me to take a few extra deep breaths today to really help with my calm and relaxation? Or would it be beneficial for me to take an Epsom salt bath? Would it be beneficial for me to diffuse some essential oils? Would it be beneficial for me to journal today? All right, all those things, you're not going to be worse off for doing any of these things. So if you get a yes to any of them, follow through. That reconfirms to your subconscious that you are listening. There's a scripture that says, faith without works is dead, being alone. So when we have the faith, we put forth the faith of our muscle testing. We have to put forth the work to validate that, right? And as we do that, we will be better at listening to our subconscious. So those are some good questions that you can now branch into trying now that you've got the basics figured out.